Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय विष्णुपाद परम परवाज का चार अष्टोत्तर शतस्त्री ऐसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परम परवाज का चार अष्टोत्तर शतस्त्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्रील प्रपाद की गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय श्री भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की षड गोस्वामी वृंद की पंचतत्व की श्री चिंताय गौरांग की श्री राधा कुंद गौर नटराज की जगन्नाथ बल्ले सुब्रमण्या की all Guru station devotees, all Guru station devotees, all Guru and Gaurang, all Guru station Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhakti Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhaktiruttamaśloke Bhaktirvavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we are reading from Canto 10th, chapter 78 and verse number 16 is written on the board. So it is from 7 to 16. I will read from 7 to 16, then we'll recite 16. So this Dantavakra is speaking, is shouting at the Lord. Verse number 7 translation. Thus, trying to harass Lord Krishna with harsh words, as one might prick an elephant with sharp goads, Dantavakra struck the Lord on the head with his club and roared like a lion. Although hit by Dantavakra's club, Lord Krishna, the deliverer of the Yadus, did not budge from his place on the battlefield. Rather, with his massive Kaumodaki club, Lord struck Dantavakra in the middle of his chest. His heart shattered by the club's blow, Dantavakra vomited blood and fell lifeless to the ground, his hair disheveled and his arms and legs sprawling. A most subtle and wondrous spark of light then rose from the demon's body and entered Lord Krishna while everyone looked on. O king, just as when Shishpal was killed. But then Dantavakra's brother Vidhurata, immersed in sorrow over his brother's death, came forward breathing heavily, sword and shield in his hand. He wanted to kill the Lord. O best of the kings, as Vidurata fell upon him, Lord Krishna used his razor-edged Sudarsana disc to remove his head, complete with its helmet and earrings. Having thus destroyed Shalva and his Shobha airship, along with Dantavakra and his younger brother, all of whom were invincible before any other opponent, the Lord was praised by demigods, human beings, and great sages, by Siddhas, Gandharvas, and Vidyadharas, and Mahoragas, and also by Apsaras, Pitas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, and Charanas. As they sang his glorious and as they sang his glories and showered him with flowers, the Supreme Lord entered his festively decorated capital city in the company of the most eminent Vrishnis. Now we will recite the verse number 16. Please recite after me. Evam Yogeshwaraha Krishno Bhagavan Jagadishwaraha Iyate Pasudrishtinam Nirjito Jayatiti Saha Evam Yogeshwara Krishno भगवान् जगदीश्वरः ईयते दृष्टीनां निर्जितो जयतीति सः एवं योगेश्वर कृष्ण भगवान् जगदीश्वरः ईयते पशुदृष्टीनां निर्जितो जयतीति सः एवं योगेश्वर कृष्ण भगवान् जगदीश्वरः ईयते पशुदृष्टीनां निर्जितो जयतीति सः Listen prayers and we'll start translation. Om Jnantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurum Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Pariyana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशय नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते हेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचला निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्राभ्यं जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Hare. Translation and purport. Does Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all mystic power and Lord of the universe, is ever victorious? Only those of beastly vision, think he sometimes suffers defeat. Purport is very long. Slowly we'll read. 3, almost 4 pages. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives the following elaborate commentary on this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. Concerning the killing of Dantavakra, the Uttarakanda of the Padma Puran contains further details in the following prose passage. I am reading the translation. Then, hearing that Shishpal had been killed, Dantavakra went to Mathura to fight against Krishna. When Krishna, moreover, heard of this, he mounted his chariot and went to Mathura. Between the two of them, Dantavakra and Lord Vasudeva, there then began a battle at the gate of Mathura that lasted all day and night. Finally, Krishna struck Dantavakra with his club, at which point the Dantavakra fell lifeless to the ground, all of his limbs smashed like a mountain shattered by a lightning bolt. Dantavakra achieved the liberation of gaining a form equal to the Lord's, and thus he also achieved the Lord's eternal supreme abode, attainable by perfect yogis, which bestows the happiness of everlasting bliss. So it was that Jay and Vijay, apparently because of being cursed by Sanaka and his brothers, but actually to facilitate the Lord's, the Supreme Lord's pastimes, descended to this material world in 3 consecutive lifetimes. Shri Nitai Gaurang ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Date and liberation. In this passage of the Padma Purana, the words Krishnastu cha Shrutva. When Krishna heard of this, indicate that the Lord heard from Narada, who travels as swiftly as the mind, that Dantavakra had gone to Mathura. Heard from Narada Muni, who travels as swiftly as the mind, that Dantavakra had gone to Mathura. Therefore, immediately after killing Shalva, without first entering Dwarka, the Lord reached the vicinity of Mathura in a single moment on his chariot, which also moves as swiftly as the mind. And there he saw Dantavakra. Thus, it is that even today, by the gate of Mathura, facing the direction of Dwarka, there is a village known in the vernacular as Datiha, a name derived from the Sanskrit Dantavakraha, means killer of Dantavakra. This village was founded by Krishna's great grandson Vajra. In the same section of Padma Purana, these statements follow. And after killing him, Vidurata, mm, Krishna crossed the Yamuna and went to the mm, Krishna crossed the Yamuna and went to the covered village of Nanda, where he honored and consoled his aggrieved parents. They drenched him with tears and embraced him. And then the Lord offered obeisance to the elder covered men and gratified all the residents with the abundant gifts of clothing, ornaments, and so on. Kalindiya Puline Ramye Punyavriksha Samachite Gopanaribir Anisham Kridayam Asha Keshava. Ramya Keli Sukenaiva Gopavesha Dara Prabhu Bahuprema Rasenatra Masadvayam Uvasaha. Lord Keshava sported continuously with the cowed woman on the Kalindis charming bank, which was filled with poised trees. Thus, the Supreme Lord, assuming the appearance of a cowherd, resided there for 2 months, enjoying the pleasure of intimate pastimes in various moods of loving reciprocations. Then, by Lord Vasudeva's grace, Narda and by by Lord Vasudeva's grace, Nanda and all other residents of that place, together with their children and wives, assumed their eternal spiritual forms, boarded a celestial airplane, and ascended to the supreme Vaikuntha planet Goloka Vrindavan. Lord Krishna, however, after bestowing on Nandagopa and all other inhabitants of Raja his own transcendental abode, which is free of all disease, travelled through the sky and returned to Dwarka as demigods chanted his praises. Next, Srila Rupa Goswami comments as follows on this passage in his Laghu Bhagavatamrita. व्रजे साधेर अंशभूता ये द्रोणाद्य अवतरन् कृष्णस्तान एव वैकुंठे प्रहिणोद इति संप्रताम पृष्ठोभ्योऽपि प्रियात्मैर् जनैर्गोकुलवासिभिः वृन्दारण्ये सदैवासो विहारान् कुरुते हरिः. Since Drona and other demigods had previously descended to earth to merge as partial expansions into the king of Raja and other devotees of Vrindavan, at this time it was these demigod expansions whom Krishna sent off to Vaikuntha. Lord Hari is perpetually enjoying pastimes in Vrindavan with his intimate devotees, the residents of Gokula, who are dear to him than even his most dear other devotees. Means Lord, these eternal associates is there in Vrindavan. Demigod expansion, they all into background. In the passage of Padma Purana, the word Putra in the phrase Nanda Gopyadyas Sarve Jana Putra Daradi Sahita. Nandagopa and others, together with their children and wives, refer to such sons as Krishna, Sridhama, and Subala, while the word Dara refers to such wives as Sri Yashoda and Kirtida, the mother of Radharani. The phrase Sarve Jana, all the people, refers to everyone living in the district of Vraja. Thus, they all went to the topmost Vaikuntha planet Goloka. The phrase Divya Rupa Dara indicates that in Goloka they engage in pastimes appropriate to demigods, not those suited to humans as in Gokula. I also couldn't understand much in this. Just as during Lord Ramchandra's incarnation, the residents of Ayodhya were transported to Vaikuntha in their self-same bodies. So in this incarnation of Krishna, the residents of Vraja attained to Gokula in theirs. Lord Krishna's journey from Dwarka to Vraja is confirmed by the following passage of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yarhi ambujakshasa pasasara vo bhavan kurun mudum vata suhrud didikshaya tatrabda koti pratima krishno bhavet. O lotus-eyed Lord, Whenever you go away to Mathura, Vrindavan or Hastinapura to meet your friends and relatives, every moment of your absence seems like millions of years. Lord Krishna had been harboring a desire to go to see his friends and relatives in Vraja ever since Lord Baldev had gone there. But his mother, father, and other elders in Dwarka had refused to give him permission. Now, however, after killing of Shalva, when Krishna heard from Narada that Dantavakra had gone to Mathura, no one could object to the Lord's going there immediately without first entering Dwarka. And after killing Dantavakra, he would have the opportunity to meet with his friends and relatives living in Vraja. Thinking like this, and also remembering Uddhava's allusion to the gopis in the words Gayantite Vishada Karma, he went to Vraja dispelling the feelings of separations of inhabitants. For 2 months, Lord Keshava enjoyed in Vrindavan just as before. Previous to his living there to kill Kamsa in Mathura. Just for 2 months, Lord Krishna enjoyed in Vrindavan just as before, previous to his living there to kill Kamsa in Mathura. Then, at the end of 2 months, he withdrew his Vraja pastimes from mundane eyes by taking the demigod portions of his parents and other relatives and friends to Vaikunta. Thus, in one complete plenary manifestation, he went to Goloka in the spiritual world, and in another, he remained perpetually enjoying in Braja while invisible to material eyes. And in yet another, he mounted his chariot and returned alone to Dwarka. So here, demigod portions they all went to Golok, and pastimes are happening perpetually in Gokula, always here, and Lord went to Dwarka. The people of Saurasena province thought that after killing Dantavakra, Krishna had paid a visit to his parents and other dear ones and now returning to Dwarka. The, the people of Raja, on the other hand, could not understand where he had suddenly disappeared to. So they were totally astonished. Furthermore, Sukadeva Goswami considered that Parikshit might think, how is it that the same Krishna who caused the cowards to attain Vaikunta in their self-same bodies also caused the residents of Dwarka to attain such an inauspicious condition in the course of his Mosala Lila. Thus, the king might consider the arrangement unfair because of his own affinity for the Yadus, as mentioned above. Is related in the Uttarakhand of Sri Padma Puran. मतलब Sukadeva Goswami did not speak about Lord going to Vrindavan because he may think that like this, unfair. Where the residents of Vrindavan they all went to in a very in the same bodies to spiritual world, but in Mosalila they fight and kill each other externally. In Sri Vaishnav Toshni, Sanatana Goswami's commentary on the 10th canto, we find the following sequential list of pastimes. First was the journey on the occasion of solar eclipse, then the Rajsuya assembly, and then the gambling match and attempted, attempted disrobing of Draupadi, then the Pandavas exiled to the forest, then killing of Shalva and Dantavakra, then Krishna's visit to Vrindavan, and finally the winding up of the Vrindavan pastimes. So here, after killing Dantavakra, the younger brother of Dantavakra, Vidurata, he came forward to kill Krishna. You know, then his head was separated by the Sudarsana disc of the Lord, and so here then Lord returning to the city and back to Dwarka. Here everybody was welcoming the Lord. Lord was praised by demigods, human beings, and other great sages, Siddhas, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Mahoragas, and Apsaras, Pitas, Yakshas. So they all praising the glories of the Lord and showering flowers on him. So in the purport by Sri Vishnu Thakur, he was explaining all the details of the fight. Here in from Padpuran, here in one verse, Sukadeva Goswami completes like he was stuck with the on the chest. He was killed. So here it is in Padmpura. It is explained that the fight went for whole day and night with Dantavakra, and they are very so powerful. This Dantavakra, Virata, this Shalva, they all, and no one can defeat them. You know, they are very, you know, no any other opponent can defeat them. But Lord Krishna killed them, you know, very easily. Then here explain how Lord went. Then because after Krishna went from Dwarka to Mathura to kill Dantavakra, then his younger brother. From there, Mathura Lord went to Vrindavan. From there, it is very near. So there, this past time he went there and spent 2 months in Vrindavan, you know, and satisfied his parents and covered men, women, gopas, gopis, everyone. And in the self same bodies, he took them back to Godhead, you know, winding up the Vraja pastimes. And the like demigod portions, they all went to back to Godhead, Vaikunta, Goloka. It is said and engage in the service of the Lord. And Gokula, where the Lord's eternal abode is always engaged in, which unmanifested in that sense. There, then Lord again returned back to uh, Dwaraka. This is all explained in the purport. But here, Vishnu Chakravarti is saying that that was not mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I think, yeah. So because he might think unfair that in Mosalila the all Vrishnis, Yadus, they all, you know, externally in a very inauspicious way they left the bodies. But in Brajapastan, the Lord took them in their self same bodies to the spiritual world. So here we 40. So we see how these um, powerful demons, you know, only Lord can kill them. So um, these demons you know, are compared to, you know, mm, like our uncontrolled mind the, is also our enemy. You know, and there's so many demons within our mind, mm, which are very powerful. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, you know, Krishna says that the uncontrolled mind is our enemy, and the mind which is controlled by superior intelligence, then it is our best friend. So it is in our uh, own choice that with whom we want to be. Like the mind is always with us, and if it is not controlled, it is our enemy. And in a disguised form, we don't think it is our enemy. And so greatest loss happens uh, when the enemy is with us and we don't know that he is our enemy, undetected. So, mm, like in the pastime of Vyomasura, Lord Krishna killing Vyomasura, he comes in a form as a covered boy, and they were playing uh, this calf, thief, and police. So in that game, the police will catch the thieves when the lambs were taken. So the coward boys are acting like lambs, some are acting like police, and this Vyomasura acts like a thief. So he's catching uh, coward boys and keeps in the mountain cave, and he takes all the coward boys, and he keeps in that mountain, and he seals the cave with the mountain rock. Uh, so these boys are all in darkness, in sleeping state, in that because they could not identify the demon. He is also in the form of coward boy, and he took them and put them in the cave. So like that, our mind is also like having so many anarthas. They are all like demons, and we think they are our friends, and then we will also be in ignorance, uh, away from Krishna. So it is, mm, when we want to perform devotional service, advance in Krishna consciousness. So this mind is very not allows us to go towards uncontrolled mind. We want to do many things in devotional service, but we are not able to do because of uncontrolled mind. Uh, like in winter, it is very cold, and it is difficult to get up. You know, we miss morning program uh, because in summer it is difficult to sleep. You will anyway get up. You know. But and that is another misery in winter. But in summer, but in winter, and you put the blanket, thick blanket on your body, and it's very warm inside. You know, we are like heaters. Our own body is a heater, so it becomes warm within the blanket. So you don't want to get up in the morning. So basically, we are uh, acting according to the dictations on the mind and senses. But the superior intelligence is the words of Guru and Krishna. No? Krishna's words coming through the scriptures, instructions of the spiritual master. That is superior intelligence. And the mind is controlled by, follows these instructions of Guru and Shastra, Guru Sadhu Shastra, then um, it becomes easier to control the mind and engage in devotional service. But if we don't accept the uh, words of Guru and Krishna, uh, we become victim of Maya, you know, engage in the senses. service of the senses. But actually, in life, it is, and we see it is not so easy because we are either mm, you know, mm, basically we are not hearing the words of Guru and Krishna, Shastra, not applying, you know, because we can understand how much we are real applying in practical. I can say myself, how much we are, some practical actions will be there. Like if you want, you are hearing. So, so it is how much we are practically on a practical level we are doing. We can see in examine our own lives. What are the instructions of the spiritual masters, seniors, or Shiksha gurus, all of them, and how much we are following, and what is the gap we can practically see, and then we can understand how much we are, whether we are following the, whether our mind is acting as our friend or enemy. But we see it, but like these demons, they are all which are within the mind. They control us. Mind is controlled by Maya and takes us away from Krishna. Like this Vyomasura taking mm, the coward boys, away from Krishna. So we have to detect when we hear Guru, when we hear from Guru and Shastra, we will understand, detect this enemy, and still it is not so easy to, because we have our own speculations, how to engage in devotional service, so many things. So mm, we should be very determined in our spiritual life, to about the goal of life. Mm, like recently we went to uh, Sri Radha Govind Mandir. There, His Holiness Giriraj Swamaraj was speaking in the class. He was saying the devotee who is engaging in devotional service in the mode of ignorance, and he thinks that he is the only devotee. He thinks I am the only devotee. बाकी लोग, the person who is practicing Krishna consciousness in mode of passion, he thinks he is the best devotee. I am the best. बाकी लोग भी भक्त है, but I am the best. The person in the mode of uh, uh, goodness, yeah, his aim is clear. He want to go back to Godhead. So for that, with that goal, he seriously, engages in devotional service. But his goal is, getting out of this, you know, miseries of this material world and go back to Godhead. The devotee in the mode of the devotee in transcendental platform, Suddha Sattva, he always thinks of how to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. So we have to, examine our own life. The person who is in a, if we are in ignorance, we have some negative things in our life, to disturb others and others devotional service, or some critical mind, you about nativity, and how everybody is disturbing my devotional service, like that. And in the mode of passion, one have made any plans in this world, how to enjoy with mind and senses, external, more he is in devotional service, doing many devotional activities, but both many externally doing things for one's own name, fame, or things like that. But who is in mode of goodness, he keeps goal very clear. You know. So we should be clear in our, we should at least come to the mode of goodness and be serious about our goal of life. And if you want to go back to God, that it is not in our hand. It is by pleasing Guru and Krishna. It is possible. So that we have to take it very as a priority in our life. Um, then you will not this problem of this mind acting as enemy uh, will come out of it. Otherwise, we hear this. We are we take this uncontrolled mind as our friend, and in devotional service we become lax, matlab, slow in our devotional service, lose enthusiasm and like that. So as here Krishna was is killing the demons. So when we take shelter of Guru, will of instructions of the spiritual master, will of the spiritual master, as that is the will of the Krishna, then we will be able to kill the demons within our mind and engage in devotional service of the Lord. And then the mind will act as our best friend. So this is for that we should be very clear about our goal. You know. Mm. You think whether you want to go back to this life, the determination. You know, many times chala jata hai after some time, or sometime we may think, let us engage in devotional service. You know, by Krishna's mercy will, especially Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Actually, by their mercy only we can go. We are not qualified, but still, we have to uh, engage in service seriously, and all our time, whatever is there, not in sense gratification or other things. As I said, in the mode of passion. Then, by mercy of Guru and Krishna, we'll get opportunity to go back to Godhead and mm, take the association of devotees uh, seriously. So this is one of the thing very. Uh, I was reading in 11th canto. It comes. Maharaj, Navigendra speaking to Nimi Maharaj, how the association of duty is very important in devotional service. Parasparanu Katanam, um, this sloka, where devotees come together and glorify the Lord. That will help them to uh, come out of the miseries of this material world, which are because of uncontrolled uh, mind and senses. The sufferings because of that. So we should have clear goal in life and take the association of devotees and regularity in our spiritual life, whole day, you know, not to go to extremes, either too much sleeping or not sleeping or late sleeping. That leads to morning program weak. So mm, one has to be very clear in one's devotional service. So, so we take the instructions of the spiritual master, then the mind will become our. Seriously, when we hear the instruction of the spiritual master, Guru Sadhu Shastra, then our mind is our friend. If we don't take those things, then our mind become our enemy and we'll be away from Krishna. Hare Krishna. If anybody have any questions or comments, otherwise, well, goodness. I can say like that one story comes na this one sage is sitting. He says different people na for a butcher he says na you die, and for king you say that you live long so that you can enjoy, and for uh, for brahmacharya who is engaged in austerities, he say you know you give up means you go back to what it. But for a devotee, he says that either you live or die, uh, it is same. So it's like in Shikshashtakam also it comes na. Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadish kame mama janmani janmanishware bhavtar bhaktir next. So in that transcendental level for a devotee for him there is no difference whether he stays. But till the time we have not gone to that stage, we have to have that desire to have proper goal. Otherwise, we have goals in this place, how to expand here, enjoy. But who has transcended, is a pure devotee, for him, in Suddha Sattva platform. For him, actually, no other thought comes in mind, engaging in Sanskrit. But in goodness means we are not always in goodness also. So we have other modes. रात को when we sleep, we have ignorance, and other times like using the time like in the morning program, like why we do chanting in the morning, because it is mode of goodness time, so that it will help us for attentive chanting. But when we chant later, and I experience myself, chanting is going on, your mind is thinking what to do next, but you don't get that thoughts that much in the morning is so uh, favorable time, you use it nicely, so that for spiritual advancement. By the that is also by mercy of Guru Krishna only we will go back to what it like that. Gandhra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Shil Prabhupada ki, and please pray for me if I will, so that I will apply what I have spoken. Hare Krishna.